Josh Green here for Tungsten Tales. Delighted to be joined by two-time former world champion Scott Ways. Scott, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm good, just you.
Yeah, very, very good, mate. And I'm sure you were feeling very good a couple of weeks ago. 9-darter on the European Tour. Some real emotions in that game, going from the 9-darter to obviously not getting the victory in that one. Where was your head at throughout that whole game?
You know, it's during the game it was quite close. I let George get a few legs in front of me, and then the 9-darter to go 5-4 up. You know, I mean, it came at a great time, but I could have done with that being the last leg, really.
I mean, from hitting that 9-darter, you often hear people say that it sort of throws them off for a leg or two. Do you think that was maybe the case a little bit with yourself, or?
I don't know. I think I started the next leg with something like 41 or 45 maybe, but then I followed it up with another 180. So it were all right. I think I managed to keep my composure, but it is so difficult because, like, the 9-darter, especially on the big stage, is it's phenomenal to do, and it's a massive achievement from anybody. And your body just like drains when it's gone in. It's like, oh God, thank God that's gone in. The amount of times I've missed double 12 or double 18 for a 9-darter on the big stage is unbelievable. So to get it, yeah, it's really good.
I was going to say, you've had some big moments in your career, obviously winning world championships, win the Grand Slam, etc., etc. But to hit a 9-darter on a stage and have the crowd cheering your name, that must have been quite special.
Yeah, definitely. Behind the scenes, you put a lot of practice in, and it's good to see like the practice. You know, it's showing off a little bit when he gets to stage. My consistency's not quite what I want it, but my game's still there. So yeah, I mean, hitting a 9-darter, the best of times anyway, is fantastic. But yeah, to do it on that stage with all the crowd shouting behind you, Scotty, 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 it was great. Yeah, fantastic.
You had some terrific support that weekend, it's got to be said. That must be really enjoyable for yourself, because you haven't, over the last couple of years with your tour card, maybe you played as many European tours as you wanted, but to get that support must have been pleasing.
It is, yeah. I mean, I've got a lot of followers all around Europe and everything, and you tend to bump into some now and again. And like we did there on the Thursday night, we just went out for something to eat, and there are a group of lads over there that have gone especially just to watch the darts, and they said they were going to cheer for us, so they did. So yeah, it was really, really good.
How much have you enjoyed those European Tour events? Because the atmosphere on them seems to be second to none. I've not been lucky enough to go to one myself, but just tell us what it's like.
It's similar to like playing on the big stages at the Wolverhampton for the Grand Slam, for the World Championships. It's exactly the same thing. The crowd are absolutely buzzing. The stage is fantastic. The venues are brilliant. You can't ask for much else. That's probably, well, the European tours at the minute, they've been like my favourite places to go. Really good.
And when you hit that 9-darter, there was a reaction from yourself, obviously, but there was a bit of a reaction from George as well. He didn't seem too happy. Did you know at the moment how miffed he was? Because he didn't offer a fist pump or anything like that.
No, just players, I don't know, they react in different ways. And I don't know, George are probably just concentrating, thinking about the next leg. And it maybe sometimes you get that focus during the game. He might not have even thought I'd hit the 9-darter. He probably might just thinking about his next 3 darts he was going to throw. You don't know. I mean, I can't really say unless I were in that situation myself.
And we're coming to the end of the PDC season now. There's a couple of Pro Tours left. You've got those Grand Slam qualifiers. I'm sure you'll be going to get back to Wolverhampton. What are the aims between now and the end of the season? And is keeping your tour card still a real possibility?
Keeping tour cards always a possibility. While we've got 3 darts in your hand, you can still win a game. So yeah, I mean, it's not out of the question. You just need a good run. I mean, qualify for the Grand Slam, for instance. That'll be absolutely fantastic. We've still got World Championship qualifiers as well if I don't make it through the Pro Tour. So there's all them opportunities still there available. We've just got to keep plodding away, keep practicing up to then, and then give it its best shot.
How much does the Grand Slam hold a place in your heart? It was a big tournament for you all those years ago.
Oh God, it was fantastic. They were probably the best ever place for me to go. The Civic Hall, wasn't it, there in Wolverhampton? God, it was fantastic. The crowd there were absolutely brilliant as well. And you know, the biggest moments in darts were there for me. Yeah. Reaching the Grand Slam final twice, it was just absolutely amazing.
I don't think you've played in the new venue, the Aldersley Ledge Village. A little bit different, it's got to be said, from the Civic Hall. Is that disappointing that you, even if you did qualify, you wouldn't get to go back to the Civic?
I suppose it probably won't be as prestigious as what it was when it was in the Civic. But, you know, it's still the same Grand Slam of darts and a similar sort of criteria, similar sort of players. So it will be good to go back and, you know, have another go, see if I can get anywhere near winning it again.
Something else I want to talk to you about is the PDC calendar, which was released a few weeks back. It's going to be Players' Championships in midweek. Is that going to affect you at all if you keep your tour card? Yeah,
massively. To be honest, at this stage, when the dates came out, I was just like, oh, I just can't believe it. I was so gutted. My biggest problem is I've got a 6-year-old daughter that lives with me through the week. So I've got to make sure that she gets to school and gets home from school. And I can do that when we're playing at Barnsley. We do it at Wigan. And now they move, all the dates have moved midweek. I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. It's just going to be an absolute nightmare for me. So I need to go away, have a look, and then make decisions on what's going to happen.
Yeah, at the moment, is it sort of in the balance what you do next year? Obviously, if you have a tour card, you'll be entitled to go to events. If you were to regain it, say, at Q School, would you even not consider Q School with the way the calendar is?
You see, this is a problem. Do you go to Q School to play on the Challenge Tour then? Or do you go to Q School to get your Pro Tour card back if you lose it? I packed my job in 4 years ago to become a professional dart player, and I've tried giving it my best shot. I've practiced like mad for 4 years. And to be honest, it's been a big struggle financially, and I was hoping I'd be in the top 64 and move up to the top 32. It's not happened. I mean, the standard is absolutely phenomenal. It doesn't matter who you play in that room. They're all fantastic dart players, and they all want to win the same as what you do. So to make it as a professional dart player, you know, I've got to weigh up my options. I've got to think what's best for me, and my bills and everything need paying at home, and that's going to be a big priority. I need to look at how many events, if I got a tour card, how many events I could actually play in the next year. So I'll get another phone call and speaking to you.
No worries. I think we just about got that. Yeah, you talk about there having to weigh up those difficult decisions. That's going to be a decision that I think every player that has a job or has a family and children is going to have to make. That's probably going to be 60-70% of the tour. That's a difficult decision for a lot of people in professional darts.
Yeah, I think it is. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of money to be won in the PDC at the top end. But for the players that are not quite at the top end, when you take your expenses off, when you go to some of these tournaments, especially like the European tours in Germany and that, for us, I know that the European players have got the same problem when they come to England. All their expenses, the hotels, the travel, you know, they've got to win 2 or 3 games just to cover their expenses and stuff all the time. So I can see everybody's point. I just got to look at what's best for me. And at the minute, I don't know. I've looked at the dates, and I think realistically, I can only make about 25% of the dates for the Pro Tour. And that, being a professional dart player, not good enough.
Yeah. You talked earlier about when you got your tour card, you'd hope you'd be top 64, moving on to top 32. Probably a question you get asked all the time, but is there any sort of regret of not moving when you were playing your best darts, when you're at the top of your game?
No, I don't regret not having a go then. I mean, it would be nice to see what happens if you could look at that direction of your life at the time and see where you were now. But you know what? I've still given it a go. I'm not saying I'm never going to play the PDC again, or I'm not going to continue next year. I've just got a lot of things to sort out. And at the minute, I just don't see me being able to commit to the Pro Tour like I have done for the last 4 years, because I think I've only missed maybe half a dozen Pro Tours in the last 4 years. And I think that's what you need to look at trying to do. Try not to miss any. And I just say, like, if I can only make 25%, I can't commit to it. So I don't know what to do for the best. I really don't.
Yeah, really tough decision ahead for quite a few players, I think. Well, I really appreciate your time, Scott, and best of luck for the few events we've got coming up.
All right, brilliant. Cheers for time. Thank you.